does it look like when a country flies 1970s American warplanes to defend against the very nation that built them? That's the reality of Iran's Air Force today. A fleet frozen in time, relying on ingenuity, reverse engineering, and now a desperate race to modernize before it's too late. Today, we're breaking down the story of Iran's most powerful fighter jet, and the answer might surprise you. To understand where Iran's Air Force stands today, you have to go back to 1979. Before the Islamic Revolution, Iran was one of America's closest allies in the Middle East and one of its best customers for cutting-edge military hardware. The Shah of Iran purchased some of the most advanced aircraft the United States had ever built, including the crown jewel, the Grumman F-14 Tomcat. The F-14 was a beast. Twin engines, variable sweep wings, the legendary AWG-9 radar system that could track 24 targets and engage 6 simultaneously. It was designed to swat Soviet bombers out of the sky from 100 miles away. Iran bought 79 of them. Then the revolution happened. America cut off all spare parts, all support, all cooperation overnight. By rights, Iran's F-14s should have fallen apart within a few years, but they didn't. Through reverse engineering, cannibalizing parts from grounded airframes, and a global black market supply chain for components, Iran has kept a handful of F-14s, known domestically as the F-14AM, or Advanced Modernized, flying to this day. Some estimates put the operational number around 40 aircraft. They've even integrated Iranian-made missiles like the Fakhr 90 onto the airframe. It's an extraordinary achievement of maintenance and improvisation, but it's not enough, and Iran knows it.
So, if the F-14 is aging out of relevance, what is Iran's most capable fighter right now? Meet the Mikoyan MiG-29, NATO codename Fulcrum. Iran first ordered MiG-29s from the Soviet Union back in 1989. Then, during the Gulf War in 1991, something unusual happened. Iraqi pilots, trying to escape coalition airstrikes, flew their own MiG-29s directly to Iranian airfields and never came back. Iran quietly absorbed those aircraft into its own fleet. The MiG-29 is a highly agile twin-engine fighter. It was designed as a counter to American F-16s and FA-18s, and in its day, it was a genuine threat. The aircraft is fast, responsive, and in close-range dogfights, its helmet-mounted sight, combined with the infrared search and track system, gives pilots a major edge. In 2025, Iran reportedly received a fresh batch of MiG-29s from Russia, the first new fighter deliveries in over 3 decades. Whether these are modernized variants with updated avionics and radar remains uncertain, but even Soviet-era MiG-29As, properly maintained, can pose a real challenge to older 4th-generation opponents. Today, the MiG-29 is Iran's most capable operational fighter. They're stationed around Tehran under the 11th Tactical Fighter Squadron at Mehrabad Airport, serving as the capital's primary air defense. In early 2026, during heightened regional tensions, cameras caught MiG-29s scrambling over the city, a rare and telling sign of how seriously Iran takes the threat environment it now faces.
Now, Iran will tell you they don't need to rely on anyone. They've built their own fighters. And technically, they have. Sort of. The HESA Kowsar was unveiled in 2018 to significant fanfare. Iranian state media called it 100% indigenously manufactured, with advanced avionics, a glass cockpit, and a modern fire control system. President Rouhani personally inspected it. Here's the truth. The Kowsar is built on the airframe of the American Northrop F-5, a jet designed in the 1950s. Iran has modernized the cockpit electronics, yes, but the underlying platform is ancient. Western analysts were blunt. One expert called it an old American warplane with some upgrades. Useful? Perhaps for training a new generation of pilots. A frontline fighter? No. Then there's the Qaher-313, Iran's most ambitious and most controversial project. Announced in 2013 as a homegrown stealth fighter, it was immediately torn apart by international aerospace experts. The canopy appeared to be basic plastic. The cockpit contained off-the-shelf civilian avionics from brands like Garmin. The tire pressure markings suggested the aircraft weighed almost nothing, far too light to carry any real weapons payload. As of early 2023, Iran quietly pivoted the Qaher-313 program from a manned fighter to an unmanned drone project. The honest conclusion? Iran's domestic aviation industry can produce capable drones and basic aircraft. A world-class fighter jet? Not yet.
So, what comes next? The answer was supposed to be the Sukhoi Su-35 Flanker E, Russia's most advanced operational fighter export. The Su-35 is a 4++ generation aircraft. That means it bridges the gap between conventional 4th-gen jets and true stealth fighters like the F-35. It has thrust vectoring engines that can point the exhaust nozzles independently, giving it almost supernatural maneuverability in a dogfight. Its airbase E radar can detect targets 400 kilometers away and track 30 simultaneously. It can hit speeds of Mach 2.25, roughly 2,400 kilometers per hour, and has a combat range of 3,600 kilometers on internal fuel alone. Leaked Russian documents suggested a deal for 48 Su-35s was signed, worth over $1 billion. For Iran, this would have been transformational, the biggest fleet upgrade since the Shah's era. But the Su-35s haven't arrived. Delays in delivery, the pressures of the Ukraine war consuming Russian production capacity, and the pace of escalating regional conflict all conspired against the timeline. By the time major hostilities broke out in mid-2025, Iran's Air Force was still waiting. Now, some reports suggest Iran is looking toward China, specifically the J-10C, as a faster alternative, encouraged by that aircraft's strong performance in the 2025 India-Pakistan conflict. The J-10C is a capable modern single-engine fighter with an active electronically scanned array radar and access to China's latest air-to-air missiles. Whether Iran can secure either aircraft and train pilots to fly them effectively remains the central question for its air power future.
Here's one thing Iran has done that genuinely impresses military analysts. They've gone underground. Faced with the reality that their jets can't match Israeli F-35s or American B-2s in the air, Iran has invested heavily in protecting its assets on the ground. The Eagle 44 airbase, Ogab 44, was unveiled in 2023. It's carved deep into the Zagros Mountains, designed to survive bunker-buster bombs. Inside those tunnels, fighter jets, drones, fuel and command facilities, all hardened against the kind of precision airstrikes that have devastated other Middle Eastern air forces. The strategy isn't to win a dogfight, it's to survive the first wave of strikes and remain a threat. A fleet in being, as military strategists call it. The logic is that even a small number of surviving advanced aircraft, especially once the Su-35s or J-10Cs eventually arrive, can complicate any adversary's planning enormously.
So, what is Iran's most powerful jet? Right now, today, it's the MiG-29, a Soviet-era design, somewhat modernized, manned by pilots defending the capital of a country under enormous pressure. The intended answer, the one Iran has been working toward for years, is the Su-35, or possibly the Chinese J-10C, a generational leap that transforms the Iranian Air Force from a relic into a modern fighting force. Whether that leap happens and when could reshape the entire strategic balance of the Middle East. Iran's Air Force is a contradiction wrapped in ambition. Ancient American jets, Soviet fighters, homegrown prototypes, and Russian promises. A force caught between eras and running out of time to bridge the gap. If you found this breakdown useful, hit like and subscribe. We cover military aviation, geopolitics, and the technology shaping modern conflicts. Drop your questions in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one.